Do artists really have to starve to be true to their craft? Must the business side of creativity drain all inspiration? No, it does not. 5 minutes on creative entrepreneurship can help you master the business side of creativity, reap greater rewards from your talent, and enjoy your work to the fullest.
I'm so glad trouble don't last always.
As creative entrepreneurs engage their businesses, they face profound inner struggles and perplexing outward difficulties. In the last 2 episodes, we discussed the inner barriers of artistic identity and artistic angst. But there's one more inner struggle creatives face, one that goes even deeper than identity and angst. And that's the pursuit of meaning in our work. And while this is a universal pursuit and a fitting goal, it's also a universal trap, which, if we're not careful, can leave us desperately unfulfilled. I'm Eric Holter, and I've been a serial creative entrepreneur for over 3 decades. After graduating from Rhode Island School of Design in 1991, I could cut and print beautiful wood engravings. But I had no idea how to run a business. They just don't teach enough about business in art school. I take it as an axiom that all people everywhere want to be happy. The pursuit of happiness is a fundamental motivation. This pursuit can take many forms and can be pursued directly or indirectly. It can be grasped for immediately or built up through deliberate, delayed gratification. And so we should not be surprised that we also pursue happiness in our work. And one of the most common ways of trying to make this connection is by feeling like our work is meaningful. To waste time toiling at work, feeling as though our efforts are pointless, contributing little to the world, or having no impact, undermines our happiness and contentment in work. And so when we have the opportunity to engage in a project that feels like it has meaning or will have impact in the world, we find ourselves motivated and energized. Many creative entrepreneurs deliberately focus their marketing on the nonprofit sector, knowing that they won't make as much money as they might otherwise, but happily trading off for the pursuit of meaning and therefore greater happiness in their work. The desire for meaning is built into our nature, and to pursue it is a noble endeavor. Using our talents and our skills in a way that feels meaningful is a highly motivating experience. And while this can be a healthy source of motivation, there are some dangers to consider. Because inasmuch as we desire meaning and are motivated by meaningful work, the flip side of this motivation is that if we don't feel like a particular task or project is as meaningful as another, then our motivation will drop accordingly. And so we might avoid mundane tasks or projects that seem common and ordinary, that don't give us a sense of meaning or of making an impact. But let's be honest, the most meaningful projects you could possibly conceive of are pretty rare. Life is made up of far more routine and ordinary moments and routine and ordinary businesses than those that transform the world. And if our happiness and motivation are tied to meaning, then we will more often than not be less motivated, less inspired, and less content in our ordinary projects than those we dream of, that we think would bring greater fulfillment. What's more, to fulfill this desire for meaning is elusive. If we chase after it, we often end up further away. The elusive nature of meaning and the desire to fulfill it is universal. But the more we strive after it, the more our angst increases if we fail to fulfill it. And when it comes to creative work, our appetite for meaning and impact is pretty high, in part due to that deeper connection with artistic identity that we discussed in episode 13. And so the more we strive for meaning and impact in our work, to the extent that we fail to achieve it, our motivation will be drained from disappointment. And since the gap between creative ambition and realistic impact is so great, this motivational trap is a particularly dangerous occupational hazard for creative entrepreneurs. I hope that the past few episodes diagnosing some of the motivations associated with creative work have not brought you down. In the next episode, we'll look more towards solutions and advice for overcoming some of these dangers so that you can find stability and joy in your work. So until next week, don't let the business of creativity overwhelm your creative business.
5 Minutes on Creative Entrepreneurship is a podcast by Eric Holter, mentor to creative entrepreneurs. You can find more content and resources at ericholter.com. His book, Blazing the Freelance Trail, is available on Amazon in print, Kindle, and audio. If this podcast is helpful to you, be sure to share it with your colleagues, and ratings and reviews are always appreciated.
I'm so glad trouble don't last.